My favorite game to play in the classroom is the quiet game. Just kidding, kind of. But on a serious note, I am a huge supporter of gameplay in the classroom to practice different skills. So in today's video, I'm gonna share with you some ideas of how you can incorporate gameplay into your instruction. I wanted to start off by saying thank you to Lakeshore Learning for sponsoring this video. Many of you may remember I partnered with Lakeshore Learning last year, and I am honored to be partnered with them again this year because I have been using their products since I first started teaching, and I truly love their brand. Before I jump into game ideas and some organizational ideas, you know those are coming, I wanted to start off by sharing some benefits of gameplay in the classroom just in case you're not convinced yet. Now I'm just gonna roll through these in order to save time, so if you have any questions, you can Google it. First and foremost, games increase engagement and motivation. Games also reinforce learning. They encourage teamwork and cooperation. They can build community within your classroom. They promote good sportsmanship most of the time. They reduce stress for students. They increase student memory, and they promote strategic thinking. Now let's jump in and start talking about some examples of games. I do have another video on my channel that focuses specifically on review games, so I will link that down below. But in this video, I'm actually going to focus on games that can be played in small groups or in partners, and I'm gonna focus on math games because I'm a math teacher. The first game is called Pig, and don't ask me why it's called Pig because I have no idea. For your materials, all you need are some dice and something for your students to use as a recording sheet, which can be paper or a whiteboard. Now these giant equation dice from Lakeshore Learning are perfect for this game for a couple of different reasons. First of all, they are foam, which means they are quiet, hallelujah. Also, they are big enough that if students are playing with them around the room, they're probably, fingers crossed, not going to lose them. They also have numbers that go higher than 6, unlike standard dice. Finally, you can actually use these to differentiate. The blue dice have numbers from 0 up to 5, and then the green dice have 6 through 10, and then either a 0 or a 1. I will link these down in the description box if you are interested. Here are the basic rules for Pig. Number 1, your students play in partners. Number 2, the first student will roll 2 dice. Here's where you can adapt the game. Number 3, students will either add the 2 numbers together or multiply the 2 numbers together depending on what skill you want to target. Number 4, if your students are adding the 2 numbers together, their target number that they're trying to get to is 100. If your students are multiplying the 2 numbers together, their target number they're trying to get to is 500. Number 5, after their first roll, that student can choose to either end with that roll or they can continue playing. When they roll again, they're going to add that sum or add that product again, depending on what skill you're targeting, to their product or sum from the first roll. Obviously, the more students roll, the higher their sum or the higher their product is going to get, which in the end gets them closer to their goal of either 100 or 500. I also want to add in there, students should be doing this all mentally. The focus of this is mental computation. Number 6, here's the catch. If at any time a student rolls a 1, then their turn ends and they lose all of the points that they had accumulated during that turn. But if the student ends their turn before they roll a 1, they get to keep those points and add it to their recording sheet. Number 7, here's an extra catch. If they roll double 1s, they lose all of the points they've gotten in the game so far and they go back down to 0. Obviously, the first student to reach their goal ends up winning. Because of those little catches, this game can go on for a really long time, so it is just a great game to have in your back pocket. Another variation of this game, if you do purchase the giant equation dice from Lakeshore Learning, they do include these operation dice. So students could also roll one of these and it would actually tell them what operation they need to use with those 2 numbers. Pig is a great way to build those mental computation skills, plus students love playing it because of that little risk involved with the catches that I explained. It keeps it super exciting. The next game is called Addition or Multiplication War. For your materials, all you need are a deck of cards. And organizational tip, these are snack containers from the dollar store. You can get them 2 for $1 and a deck of cards fits perfectly inside. This game works the same way as regular war. 2 students will divide the deck of cards in half and then students will both flip over a card at the same time. The twist is students have to be the first one to call out either the sum of the 2 numbers or the product of the 2 numbers in order to keep the cards. You can either have students take out the face cards, so the jack, king, queen, ace, or you can actually assign those cards a value such as 11 or 12. Addition or multiplication war is a fantastic way to have your students work on their math fact fluency, and the best part is they can literally pick up a deck of cards and be playing within a minute. Now, both of those games are designed to be played in partners, so I wanted to give you another option of a game that can actually be played in a small group. Lakeshore Learning has this multiplication grab and play game that can be played by up to 4 players at once. The best part is all of the materials are included. Students just open up the game, unfold the board, they take turns solving multiplication problems, and then they place their marker on the product on the board. The first player to cover 3 in a row, either horizontally, vertically, or diagonally, wins the game. One of the things I personally love about this game is it's super small, very compact, and it makes it really easy to store away when your students are not using it. I will link it down below in the description box. The games that I just showed you are great options for early finishers in your classroom. Y'all know what I mean, okay? Those students who like breeze through the assignment in 2 minutes when you thought it was gonna take them a half an hour. But another way you can use games in your classroom is actually as intervention, and I promise they will be a million times more engaging than a worksheet. Lakeshore Learning also has this Math Facts folder game library, which has 10 individual games that target specific multiplication facts. Just like the past game that I showed you, these games require no prep. All students are gonna do is open up, they get out the folder that they need, and these games can actually be played independently, which is really nice if you have one student that you need to target specific facts for. He or she will just grab the folder, there are easy to follow illustrated directions included, and then they can actually check their answer with the included answer sheet. So if you're interested, I will link these in the description box as well. Another way you can use games in the classroom is to target a specific skill. So the first few games that I showed you were focused on math fact fluency, which is important, but sometimes you need to target a specific skill such as geometry or measurement or fractions. Now, you can find a ton of games online. If you go on and you Google fraction games, you're gonna find 1,000,001 options. However, we all know as teachers, we don't always have time to be printing and laminating and cutting out games. Sometimes it is nice to have a pre-made game ready to go that you can just, pull out of your closet and have your students start playing. Just like the multiplication grab and play game I showed you earlier, Lakeshore Learning also has games that target specific skills. This is the geometric measurement grab and play game, and this one is fantastic for targeting area, perimeter, angles, which are all things that my students really struggle with. So if I can give them a game to play, to practice it, they're gonna be so much more motivated than ever doing a worksheet. And just like I said before, super small, super compact. I love these because they're easy to store. And again, I will link it down in the description box. Now let's talk about how I organize my games. I told y'all, organization tips are coming. In my classroom, I have 2 sets of these rainbow drawers, which I will link for you down in the description box. I personally chose to organize mine by unit. So you will notice each drawer has a label with the unit clearly marked on it. And once I open up the drawers, that's where I store all of my games for each unit. I told y'all that those Lakeshore games were small and compact. They actually fit inside of these drawers, which makes it super easy to find the materials I need when that unit starts. One final tip, at the end of the school year, you can actually have your students play all of the games in your classroom to make sure that all of the pieces are still there, plus they get one final review for the school year. I really hope that this video gave you some ideas for gameplay in your classroom. If you enjoyed it, please go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you do not miss any future videos. As always, thank you for watching. I love you all so much. Don't forget to put your positive pants on, and I will catch you all in the next one. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of this video and for supporting my YouTube channel. If you want to check out any of my older videos, you can use the 2 links right down here. If you want to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future videos, you can use the link right up here. The links to all of my social media sites, my Teachers Pay Teacher store, my merchandise store, and my Amazon store are in the description box, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.